Hey guys, it's Chris, and it's not Bauer because Bauer is on his honeymoon in southern Italy. I have a special guest host today, Andrew Altersohn from SWYM.ai. Thank you for joining us, Andrew.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Happy to fill in for Bauer.
I really appreciate it. You've elevated the beauty of the podcast by you subbing.
Not a hard lift.
No, not at all.
But sorry, Bauer.
No mustache. The mustache really gets in the way. So, welcome to the Brick Wall Podcast. Andrew, we met 2.5 years ago in a small coffee shop based on the referral of one of our past guests, Mark Mansfield.
Yes.
How did you know Mark?
That is a great question.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mark. I don't even remember how I know Mark.
You know what it is? He's infectious.
He's great. He is infectious.
Yeah,
I don't know the origin.
He finds a way.
Might have been through Robbie, my co-founder. But in any case, I was very happy to know Mark and therefore know you.
He is like, you have to take a meeting with these guys and learn what they do. So today we may or may not learn about supply side platform optimization.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Great.
It could happen.
So before we get started in your career and stuff like that, you went to Cannes this summer.
I did. After several years of not attending, I did attend.
Tell me why.
Well, the why is, we are, and we'll talk a little later, we have a startup, SWYM.ai, and have had a series of, both potential client meetings as well as business development meetings that conveniently happen in the south of France, right?
Not a bad place to.
Not a bad place,
yeah.
But it is a debate every year of is it worth it? Why attend? And so we made the decision to go, myself and two others of the company.
As someone in the industry that's been a part of small agencies for his entire career, 20, 30 person shops, the agency owner, the media director, is it relevant for them to make that investment to go?
The short answer is I think it's a hard to say yes. Like I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's not to say it's not a great event. It's not to say that it doesn't have a lot of value in the sense of you are seeing and meeting and spending time with a tremendous number of people in the industry. But do you need to go halfway around the world to do it? Depends. The ironic part is that almost everybody that I interact with, and probably you would interact with, is not even there for the reason of the actual event, which is a creative award show.
Yeah. So
I guess if you want to go to the creative award show, then I guess you have to go. But otherwise, I think it's definitely, if you have some meetings that you don't think you'd have otherwise, I'd spend my money more locally.
Yeah. Good advice.
Yeah. But we did joke 2+ years ago that at this point we're going to get a yacht. Do you remember that?
I do.
Over dinner.
We did plan that. And I think we actually ran the numbers.
Yes, with Mark.
Yeah.
So Mark started looking up how much it would be to rent a yacht. And Lainey, your wife, was right there.
Yes.
Thumbs up. And I still don't see the yacht. So just letting it know.
It was bonuses or yacht.
It's all right. And there's always next year.
Yeah, there is next year. Yeah. Well, thank you for that insight. I do want to go next year. So.
All right. Well, then we'll figure it out.
Yes. Awesome. Great. Right. So you got your start at Havas. No, not necessarily at Havas, but why don't you give me your
short story?
Yeah, the short story of your career.
The short story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The short story is I have 2 finance degrees and I've never worked in finance. That's the short story. After undergrad and then grad school, I ended up in Boston doing management consulting and quickly knew that was not my long-term plan at all and got sucked into the beginning of the commercial web by getting recruited into a small company, about 100 people, that in about 2 years from that point would be renamed Digitas. But at that point, it was a company called Strategic Interactive Group, and we were at the forefront of building out initial digital experiences for IBM, American Express, and everybody who didn't, the concept of a website was entirely a new thing. And today, what you can have Claude do in a few minutes, or you could have a team of developers do in a week, would be a 6-month project, and it'd be millions of dollars, right? And so that was the beginning of my career in what became digital media. But at that time, no one even knew what digital media was. And so from Digitas, I ended up at other, obvious, not obvious, but places like Ogilvy, where I really got a taste of the agency world. And then moving from there to a company, so Digitas, I went and bought a company, Modem Media. I was brought back with a bunch of us to kind of rebuild Modem in the image of Digitas. And then about a week later, Publicis bought Digitas. So the next thing I know work for Publicis. That's a story in itself, a whole nother podcast. And then from there, got recruited to go run Havas Media in North America. So I did that for a few years, which was, again, a great experience and really my first taste of media. Everything else had been more on the creative side of the world. And then from there, after there, I left the agency world and went into the startup world and was first brought by a board of a startup called Adfin to kind of build that company out, where I hired my now co-founder, Ravi Patel, who joined me there. And then from there, a few years later, we got back together again, now 2.5 years ago, to build SWYM.
It's awesome. It's all coming back to me, this whole thing. So this is great. I have to say that when I walked away from that coffee meeting, I knew that I was going to work with you guys, not just because of Mark's recommendation, but I was like, these two guys have seen it all in the programmatic and digital media space and world. And not only worked with you guys, but considered you guys advisors. Because I knew if we were going to be good at what we did, it needed to pass the sniff test of what you guys recommended. So that's the compliment that I can give.
No, thank you. Well, likewise, it's been a great partnership working with your teams. But yeah, I think coming back together to build this company has been just an awesome experience.
But there's a reason why you did it. You must have seen a gap, an opportunity, or something that needed to be fixed when you were in the ad world.
Yeah, no, well, we could list a lot of things that need to be fixed. It all starts from just backing up to what does SWYM stand for, right? So SWYM is an acronym. It does stand for Stop Wasting Your Money. Right? And anybody who works in media kind of gets the joke, right? It's like, we all know that especially in programmatic media, we've done study after study after study after study after study, some I've actually authored myself, that all prove we waste a lot of money in media, okay? Inefficiencies, ineffectiveness, fraud, brand safety, viewability issues, all the things that have been laundry listed out. And I think what Ravi, my co-founder, and I, and actually we have a third co-founder, Kevin, who's also integral to the organization. But I think what we all saw was that the solution has evaded most of the industry in terms of stopping the waste because we've been looking in the wrong place. So for years and years, the approach has been to look on the buy side of the industry. So there's a buy side and a sell side. And as buyers, agencies and advertisers buying ad space, that's where you focus. You focus there because that's what you control. So you flip switches in the DSP, the demand side platform, you try better audiences, better targeting, better this, better that, bid higher, bid lower. You do all the things you can do. And really at the end of the day, the problem was before all that. And so that's where SWYM has focused predominantly to date on shaping the supply of opportunities before it ever gets to you. And by doing that, we've seen a tremendous uptick in the performance and improvement in efficiency and effectiveness.
Love it. Tell me why that might be a competitive edge to a small challenger agency when going to either win business or to optimize a plan for a client.
Yep.
And I'll put it in the perspective of this. The name of this podcast is the Brick Wall Podcast. Yes, we want to help agency owners, media directors kind of break through that wall of growth, but also, in this case, media performance.
Yep. I'm going to use the analogy that we use when we pitch the business because it helps people understand, right? So we explain SWYM in a grocery store analogy.
Yes.
Right. And we use lemons and cherries to simplify the media universe. Cherries are things that perform against your objectives and lemons are things that don't. There are lots of reasons that they will not perform. We're not worried about which one it is. Just there are things that work and things that don't work, right? So imagine you go into a grocery store, you have money. So you go in there, you have money in your pocket, and you walk in, and the rule of this store is unique. It's like, hey, if you walk in the store, you have to spend every penny in your pocket. Well, that's what happens in media, right? If you go in, you plug in money or budget to a DSP, that will be spent 100% to the penny by midnight that night, no matter what, okay? And you walk in that store, and you're looking for cherries, the things that you want, the things that are going to deliver value. But at the end of the day, mostly what you find are lemons. And the rule says I got to spend my money. So what do? Buy a lot of lemons. Just got to spend your money, which now signals the store, the DSP, to tell its suppliers, the SSPs, my customers love lemons. So guess what? I want more lemons tomorrow so that they can buy more. And guess what? Keep buying lemons. And so that's the current state. For an agency like Media Thesis and you guys, you can change the game for your clients, because by working together, what we're doing is we're saying, why don't we stock more cherries? Why don't we take lemons off the shelves? Yes. Now we have built a system to determine, mathematically what is likely a cherry, what is less likely a lemon. And so that we are effectively moving the odds of improving performance and reducing waste in your favor. But at the end of the day, whether you're a small agency or a big agency, you're responsible for your client's budget. And that same amount of money will now buy more of the thing you want, and less of it will get wasted on the things you don't.
Sounds expensive. An agency owner like this sounds too good to be true. How much is an agency owner paying SWYM on a campaign basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis?
I don't know. Trick question in a way, right? The answer is you don't pay us.
I was leading the witness there.
Yes. So the way that our ecosystem works is a buy side and a sell side. And effectively, we get paid out of the sell side economics instead of the buy side economics. So
there's no out of pocket.
There's no out of pocket. I will say everything in our entire ecosystem, for every yacht at Cannes to everything else is paid by the advertisers. That is true, right? Advertisers have to fund everything. But at the end of the day, when you're bidding $1, you're paying $1. What happens on the sell side is that we get paid via our partners, and that comes out of the net bid that would ultimately go to the publisher. But it's a win-win for everybody in our view. You're getting better performance. We're removing what is a non-performing inventory from consideration. And the publishers that have a hard time getting their inventory to the right campaign are promoted via our tools and technology, because that's what we do. We find what's working and we get more of that pushed to the right, DSPC.
Sounds complicated. It sounds like I'm going to have a lot of staff that actually has to do this.
I love the layups.
There you go.
You make it too easy. No, so it's really, really simple. That was also part of this, being ex-agency and knowing that our agency partners are so critical to us. We were very particular to think of ways to make this as less, to be
frictionless
as possible. Thank you. On you and your team. So no, it's really, really simple. Teams can be up and running the same day. It really only takes a few minutes. It's 4 steps. It's one is just, what campaigns do you want to activate? Second thing is just fill out or tell us a few key pieces of information. The most important of which is, what's the KPI? What are you trying to solve for? What is success? So if it's a ROAS, is it a ROAS of 5? Is it a ROAS of 6? If it's, a cost per complete review, what is success? Therefore, our models know what is working, what is not working. So you set up a report out of the DSP, which takes 5 minutes. And then you just accept the deals get built out of the SWYM platform, pushed to your DSP seat. Your teams activate it, and they're done. Everything else is automated. Everything else is using machine learning AI to just do it in a very sophisticated yet simple way.
Sounds great. What is the best way for our audience to reach out and find you and start a relationship?
Well, you can always go to SWYM.ai. You can always reach out to Andrew at SWYM.ai. And if it's anybody who knows Chris, you can reach out to Chris. And Chris will always know how to find me.
Absolutely. We have SWYM onboarded onto all of our campaigns and have since we started this relationship.
Yes.
Any final parts or questions that I should be asking and haven't?
No, those are all. We'll save those all for the next podcast.
You're welcome back to come back anytime.
Awesome.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it.
You got it.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And our next pod will update you on all of our subscribers, our engagement, our comments, which it's exploded since our last episode. I can't wait to share more. See ya.